Hi, this is Ed Hannan here with Ron Worth, President of CEO of Society of Marketing Professional Services. Ron, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ed.
So, Ron, the first thing I wanted to ask you about was we're here at Build Business 2012 here in San Francisco, and I wanted to just get your quick take on your state of the SMPS, how the conference is going so far.
Thank you, Ed. Actually, I'm extremely ecstatic with the results of the conference. Our numbers are back. This recession has been a long, rough one for all of us, and it was very difficult for firms to send people, for one, and for members to get away, given the workloads that a lot of people have assumed to be consistently bringing work in the door. But the numbers are back. The members and attendees that are here are extremely motivated with learning and gathering as much information as they can to take back to their firms and to help bring the work in the door.
Another question for you. Just real quick, percentage of maybe first-time attendees versus sort of repeat attendees that you can think of off the top of your head?
It's always amazing to me how many first-time attendees we have. At this conference, we have about, out of 800, probably 150 are first-time attendees.
Excellent. And now the conference next year is in Orlando, and that's the same time of year?
Yes, it is. It's a little later. It'll be in August, but it's at the Swan and Dolphin. Great hotel. We're taking over one whole floor of their conference center. And again, we are all big fans of Michael Graves. It's one of his key projects. They've just done a $27 million renovation. The hotel looks amazingly sparkling, let's say. It's nice. And you don't need a car there because you can walk to Epcot from the hotel.
Excellent. And then talk a little bit about, now we talked about the conference, talk a little about the association itself, how where we're at in sort of its history and where we're looking forward.
Again, we've been very fortunate during the recession in that the AEC industry and the principals running the firms today understand the importance of differentiating themselves and standing out in today's marketplace. And marketing and business development have taken very primary roles within the firms, and firms understand that everyone within the firm needs to be rainmakers. So our membership has taken on an expanded role of leading the technical staffs and their firms to bring that work in the door. SMPS at the same time has recognized that during this recession there's been a considerable shift, I think, just in the position of marketing and business development within the firms. And in turn, our last full understanding of that with a survey and research was done in 2005, which helped generate our strategic 2020 plan. We know that now is somewhat dated and needs to be looked at again, given the new dynamics that we're all dealing with in today's marketplace. And the board has taken it upon the task of really reanalyzing that. We've started with a series of focus groups and interviews around the country with the first phase of this. And we call it an environmental scan, working with the premier firm for associations in the Washington, D.C. area called Marketing Advisors, excellent firm. And the next phase, which actually kicks off on Monday of this, immediately after the conference, will be a survey of the entire membership, and again some other supplementary focus groups around the country. And this will all be coming together in October during the first board of directors meeting to really finalize where we are, where we need to be in the future to provide the value to the industry, and what products and services we need to be focusing in on to address those. Very exciting times for the association.
Excellent. And then you had mentioned also, I think when we talked yesterday during the media lunch, there was some talk about a new publication. That's how some of the SMPS Foundation work is going to change, I guess, in the coming year, or maybe evolve into something different in terms of the white papers versus what's going to be coming forward. What can you tell us about that?
I think one of the things coming out of the planning process last year with the foundation was the need to really do a more comprehensive look at business development from a client perspective, and at the same time maybe combine the efforts of multiple white papers on various topics and focus in on it's a 2-year project of developing a book on business development for the AEC industry. What are the challenges facing firms today? What do owners really want from their business development efforts from the firms that they deal with? And what we as marketers and business developers can do to help facilitate the new needs within the marketplace. over 30 thought leaders within the industry are working on this book. They're doing interviews all over the country from coast to coast, and this book will be completed and tentatively in April of next year, and we're extremely excited with it. The foundation is putting an enormous amount of time and energy into this, and I think it's going to be a game changer for the business development marketplace in the AEC industry.
Excellent. And one last question for you. I know one of the other things we talked about yesterday at the luncheon, Kevin Hebblethwaite and some others brought up that one of the things that came up out of the last planning retreat with the board was that some of the strength in the organization is at sort of the chapter and local level. Can you talk just about the relationship dynamic between the national and the chapters?
I would say over the last decade, we have been working extremely closely in building up the strength of the chapters and the support, what resources and support we have from a national level to help balance that across the board. I was just talking with someone how I am so pleased to see the quality of leadership that has evolved over the last decade and has culminated in some of the best presidents leading our associations we've ever had. And it gets consistently better. At the same time, they are surrounded with a group of leaders that are outstanding. And you balance that from a strong national board and a strong national staff. I personally think it's unbeatable. So I'm very happy with the future as we see it, because without leaders in place, it's very hard to accomplish the goals that we've set for ourselves. But given the leaders that are in place at all levels, it's all attainable.
Excellent, Ron. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed. It's been a pleasure.